Coming up on Mountain News this morning, power crews across our region continue working to get the lights back on after high winds left many people in the dark. And a FedEx driver in the northern part of the state narrowly escapes injury during a windy delivery.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Well, it's Monday and it's almost 5 o'clock. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast this morning. And Brandon, thankfully, nothing really to talk about.
Right, exactly.
Makes your job easy.
Very much calmer this week after a mess last week. And I know I missed it. I actually went home with a stomach virus there, back in action this morning. But I've still got, when I'm not on air, got my mask just to make sure that we're not contagious anymore. Let's take a look, see what's going on this morning. You see temperatures out there, 30s, 40s, and 50s, so to speak, this morning. So we're continuing to watch all that as we continue to see a whole lot of variety there this morning, I guess the best way to put it. So if you're heading out pretty soon, grab you some coffee. Normal day or a little extra depending on what your temperature preference is. Your out-the-door forecast, though, is going to feature temperatures in the 70s this afternoon, but don't get used to that. It's going to be a breezy day, and you know what breezy usually means? Cold front is moving in. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a few minutes. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Friday night's winds caused power outages across our region for Big Sandy Rural Electric Cooperative. More than 5,000 outages were reported Friday night, and crews worked tirelessly to repair lines and replace more than 10 poles. At last check, just more than 200 customers are still without power. Big Sandy RECC President Bruce Davis added this amount of damage was not limited to just the RECC's coverage area.
It was very devastating. This windstorm, a tremendous amount of damage, not just here at Big Sandy RECC, but throughout our state.
Well, Kentucky Power is also working to restore electricity in homes across the region. Friday's storm knocked out around 18,000 Kentucky Power customers across the state. Communications manager Sarah Nussbaum says the number continues to drop as crew restores power, but some may be waiting until later this week for the lights to come back on.
Every situation is different in regards to what the issues are with the outages that we're looking at. I can say that our crews have been out since early this morning and will continue to work on getting everyone restored as soon as possible.
Kentucky Power recommends reporting a power outage via its Facebook page or website. Repairs and cleanup from the severe winds are also underway across south central Kentucky. There are still thousands of people without power in Warren County, some still trying to remove downed trees and power lines from their yards. Crews from across the country joining Warren RECC to help with repair efforts.
I would caution people to understand that this is going to be a multi-day restoration. We have 29 additional crews coming in from different states to help us, so we certainly are working throughout the day, throughout the night, but it's a big storm. It's a big outage. So be patient with us.
Warren RECC says because of the area's resiliency and patience, it will get through the aftermath of the storm. A FedEx driver in northern Kentucky narrowly escaped serious injury as he dropped off a package during the storm. A doorbell camera captured this moment in Kenton County when powerful winds toppled a large tree onto the porch where the driver, Tony Etnell, had just stood seconds earlier. He told CNN on Saturday, "Oh my goodness, it was quite unsettling to see how close he came to getting seriously injured." People from 9 states have arrived to the Bluegrass to begin chipping in to restore power to the Commonwealth. Kentucky Electric Cooperatives, which represents 26 co-ops across the state, say as of Sunday afternoon, more than 375 personnel arrived from 58 sister co-ops. They include helpers from 9 different states. Certain restrictions on vehicles involved in restoring power and clearing debris in Kentucky have been temporarily lifted. Kentucky Transportation Secretary Jim Gray signed the official order Saturday. The order temporarily relieves commercial drivers from maximum driving times and wait station stops while engaged in emergency response. The order will last through midnight on March 31st. More than 7 months following the region's devastating flood, 2 Letcher County churches are partnering to help those still in need. New Freedom Worship Center of Jenkins and King's Chapel Church in Whitco hosted a giveaway during the weekend outside of King's Chapel Church. Both churches have been serving their communities in this way following the flood, but church leaders knew they wanted to join forces to make an even bigger impact.
I believe we ought to continue as long as we can, and as long as God blesses us, then we're going to bless others. And with people like Danny coming down, it means the world to us. And you know what? We don't ever know when somebody else that's in need of something. If we can do something, I think we need to do something.
The giveaway included food, clothing, space heaters, and even hot meals. Both King's Chapel Pastor Frank Adams and New Freedom Worship Center Pastor Danny Quillen say they hope to partner for more events like this in the future. Well, thank you so much for getting your Monday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up next, the National Park Service shows off some of its humor in its latest warning about bears as they prepare to leave their dens after a restful hibernation.
And while today will feel pretty nice, winter is not over yet, and it will return at times this week. I'll have the latest in about 3 minutes.